Good morning, Stripe. You ready for breakfast? Good morning, Morris and Marty. Donnie and I are on our way to go walk. We've each had a cup of coffee. I guess it's like 8:30, something like that, I think. If only, right? We need that car door to just open.
Yeah. Please, Elon.
Please.
Self-presenting doors on all models.
It's fairly quiet at South Park right now. It's cloudy, obviously, and a little breeze, so it feels good. Jules looks very pretty. I do think there's a chance of more rain today. And it's really going to be nice walking this morning without the hot sun, and these cooler temps with the breeze are nice. He's just trying to get his uneven ground time in, since this trail is pretty flat. Plus it's good to be youthful, have some fun, all of that.
Right, all of the above. Plus, I'm a guy. We're not supposed to stay between the lines.
One lap down. This is the start of lap 2. Don and I are trying to remember when they converted the old CP&L office to the community center.
Right.
And they added on the basketball court gym side, the little offices on the other side. That part of the building is older.
That's right.
So we're going to have to go home and Wikipedia because we don't remember. Don would remember more than me because I lived out in Willow Spring and I wasn't super close to South Park then. And he obviously is very close to it. But I do remember when it was CP&L too.
But that they couldn't have, you know.
I know, that's a screw in a slightly bad spot.
Yeah, they'll put it through the important part of the sign.
Because it's really 0.3 miles and not 3 miles. But you know, if you want to delude yourself into thinking one loop around over here is 3 miles, go for it. We're finishing lap 2 and starting lap 3. We're on the start of our 4th lap, and I have Don checking the lock on the bathroom. I don't know if they're open in the morning or not.
Locked.
That would be a no, huh? The community center doesn't look open, and the splash pad, well, I guess next week after 10 a.m. the splash pad will be open, so the bathrooms in that building will be. You know, you never know if it's a town policy or a COVID thing.
Yeah, right.
But I think we're past the COVID bathroom restrictions, so.
And if not, we will be very shortly, I think, at this point.
Yep. Anyway, I'm a little surprised they're not open.
Because I've noticed that when the people up here playing baseball, because the little leagues and stuff are playing now.
Right, well, no doubt when the games are going on and the concession stand is in that building too, that bathroom's open.
Oh,
no doubt, but.
Yeah.
So I battled a fancy zigzag zoom. I walked backwards for a minute to talk to him, and I told him at Taekwondo, you know, they make us run backwards actually even. It's good for your balance. It would be one way to know you were in trouble.
Yeah.
If you couldn't handle that. You don't have to be perfect at it or anything, but it's a good skill. So
one of those things that one of the doctors we listen to, he says if you want to stay mentally sharp, the front part of your brain does all that stuff, and he said movement is what it needs.
Turn. The trail's moving on you. Oh. Yep, that's true. Yep.
And he said, and he wasn't the first guy I heard the thing about the uneven ground. And he said it's really not good to walk on nice smooth surfaces because those little micro adjustments in your balance, your body actually needs those to make all those micro adjustments and all those muscle twitches and stuff. And on nice smooth ground, there's very little of that. So if you're going to walk and you walk on uneven ground where your body is constantly having to twitch this muscle and adjust that one, that's much better. They send way more of these signals to your brain, or makes your brain do a lot more signaling.
But we have a little uneven on this trail, but not much.
No.
I would call it pretty. You could take a wheelchair, you could roller skate over here.
Right. Absolutely.
So we're on lap 6. Don is ready for his coffee, but I'm feeling perky for a minute, so my heart rate is in the 120s where it should be. I said one more, and he accommodated because he's a good guy. I love you.
I have a cup of coffee waiting for me when I get home.
It'll still be waiting.
Yeah.
So it's official. The splash pad is opening today at 11. Only 11 to 3? Wow.
Yeah, that's a little early 3.
Right, it used to be open until 7 at night, and when people were playing baseball, the kids that weren't on the field would come over and be on the splash pad. And besides, who wants to be out at noon?
Yeah, that's pretty bakey on it.
I would have like 1 to 5. I know little kids, they want early for little kids because they come home, they take a nap, they're done for the day. Little kids like to get up and go. You could argue that 11 is even too late for little kids. Maybe they'll expand it. Maybe they had trouble finding enough staff. I don't know. It was never only 4 hours before. So we're back to Jules. We're still at South Park. Don talked about the EV tax credit for at least an entire lap. And I informed him that Manny was going to have to repeat all of that stuff for you guys on film because, you know, I didn't want to put you through me walking bounciness all while he was talking. So go.
Yeah. Well, today's the 29th, so yesterday was the 28th. Tesla Daily on YouTube, or the podcast for Rob Maurer for yesterday. He talked about the tax credit for electric vehicles that is now passed out of committee. The original proposal and then the modified proposal. Netted out is extending along the lines of the $7,500, gets rid of the $200,000 car limit. There's basically no limit, and it adds $2,500 to the credit if the car is built in the USA. Our final assembly is performed in the US, and because on the case of like the Chevy Bolt, and I'm not faulting anybody here, it's built in Korea. Everything important's done in Korea, and they ship it over here and they put it together. The final assembly is done here, but of course that's probably true for most cars. You know, we always think of automobile jobs, but it's really the final assembly is what we picture is really what's happening. Anyway,
not the components that are done at assembly.
Not, you know, there is an engine and transmission and axles and all those components get put together, but then they get a final assembled. Anyway, another $2,500 if it's a union
in the U.S. and the employees are represented.
That's right. So it's an additional $5,000. And the other thing it does away with is no longer a tax credit. It's actually a tax rebate. So you're going to get the money back even if you didn't pay $7,500 or $10,000 in taxes. You're going to get that much money back. So it doesn't matter how much taxes you actually pay, which in my opinion was one of the little I gotchas, and it's the I gotcha, the one that's currently law right now, is people don't understand that you have to pay $7,500
in taxes
before you get the money back. I mean, you only get up to $7,500.
Right.
So the other part of it is
80K limit.
They're thinking about an $80,000 limit on the car. They also, there's not limiting it to just battery electric. It looks like plug-in hybrids would be covered. There was, you know, there was things in there. I myself, which is what I told Marianne, is that, you know, there was just stuff. I don't think it's needed. I think it would be better. I realize I'm biased and Tesla's already dealt with it, so it would just be better to stop doing this type of incentives like that. I hope they don't pass it. Oh, now again, it's going to get modified. The Republicans have it. In fact, the vote was deadlock out of committee. It was 50-50 split, and so the chairman got the vote or something like that. So this is another one of those party line type things. So it's gonna be very difficult to pass. I think there's going to be at least one or two Democrats that probably are not going to be for it on the floor because they're going to want to wheel and deal. So I don't expect this to be the final thing. It's going to change. But I guess my initial impression is, after the way Rob explained it, I highly recommend you watching this video. He explains it very well. I think we can, I think if this is as good as we can do, then let's just stop doing this one.
Right. We try to keep the channel not political.
Yeah.
We don't want to be a political channel, but I'll just say that the whole union thing, I don't support that part. And Don was quick to point out to me last night when we were talking last night about it while we were watching the video, that there are some other automotive employees in the U.S. that also are not union representative. It's not just Tesla.
Right. Yeah.
I don't have a list or handy. I think you mentioned Mercedes. I don't know if that's...
Well, the plants and a lot of the car makers have moved south.
They're in Tennessee.
Yeah, and those
the Honda plant where my van came from is in Tennessee.
It's my understanding, and I don't keep up on this. They're not union. They're not union, and so you know, the ones basically in Michigan
are union. Yeah,
absolutely. But the ones elsewhere, Toyota plant down in Texas that builds the truck, I don't think they're union. I can be wrong.
Right. Obviously, Don and I want employees to be paid fairly, to get sick leave, maternity leave, medical coverage, be safe on the job, you know, all of that. I guess it might be fair to say we're not convinced that the automotive union is that much of an assistance along those guidelines.
I question that those types of things, you know, if it was a safety thing, I totally would support a union. You unionize for safety, like the coal miners.
It wouldn't be Don talking if the battery didn't run out, although technically that time I think it ran out while I was talking. But the problem that I had with the bill, I hope y'all care about my opinions too. My and Don opinions are close, but not always exactly the same. And that's good because Don supports me having my own opinion.
That's right.
But it feels to me like the government is trying to help decide who wins the EV war.
I agree. That's right.
And that's why I don't like this bill. I want to incentivize in some way people moving to EVs. I don't have an opinion about what the best way to do that, other than we talked about apartment complexes and infrastructure, but not the kind of infrastructure people think with charging stations along the interstate. Not that kind of infrastructure. But I just don't want the government picking.
Right.
And this feels like picking.
And they got the thumb on the scale. And I think electric cars are going to succeed. They don't need the government skewing the market. I think at this point, the market, people will buy electric cars if you build a compelling electric car. That's been proven over and over again. I mean, you could even say that with the Mach-E. Let's just go, you know, people will buy them if they build them. The stuff that the auto industry wanted to build, people didn't want to buy. And they said, well, people don't like electric cars. Well, they didn't build a compelling electric car. I think Tesla has obviously proven you build a compelling electric car, and they sell like hotcakes. And I think the rest of the industry has that now. So I don't think we need the government subsidizing EV sales. You know, it's really just a waste of taxpayer money, because it never seems to work out the way they want. You know, I'm just, maybe cash for clunkers or something. I don't know, but I'm just saying this looks very expensive. It's unlimited. Rob points that out, that they only project like 3 million electric cars by 2030 that would apply for this thing. Well, Tesla plans to sell 3 million cars in 2025. Now, I realize that's worldwide, but the whole point is this thing could get way more, like most government programs, they say, oh, well, it's only going to cost this much money. And then 3 years down the road, they say, oh, it's going to cost 7 to 8 times more money than we thought it was going to cost. And that's exactly what's happening with this one. There is this unlimited amount of boondoggle.
Well, our senator, or
Tillis and Burr.
What prices are representative? David Price?
Yeah, David Price is the House District, yes.
Right, I was just going to say, you know, I don't know how much our voice is heard, but if you have ideas and opinions, you know, firing off an email really can't hurt anything.
Right.
Those guys could probably use some help from some actual EV drivers or people that are considering an EV, which may not be the people in Washington deciding this bill. So I know I'm on David Price's email list to keep up with what's going in North Carolina, and he does seem to be articulate, and I would say something to him if I thought it would be helpful.
Good.
Tux is being a good boy here on the back step. We have a lot of crows behind me. We were watching the Now You Know truck comparison video, and I'm working on the bathroom and got the bed in and built the little cabinet, and I'm just doing some Lego time. Stephen Mark Ryan has some really interesting thoughts on the EV tax credit also. He's very positive on how great it would be for Tesla, so I'm soaking in his opinion. Have I really made it all the way to step 418? I think I have. This is what it's looking like over here. It's going on 2:30 in the afternoon, and I've been having a good time. We've been watching videos, and I've been doing stuff. I am running short on 1x2 medium light gray and 1x1 medium light gray. The only other thing I might do today is look at the bins I got at Guardian Angel and see if there are some of those pieces in there that I might use with this tomorrow. I also don't have the 1x1 flat tiles either, and I need more of them. Don and I are going to take the red box back. Wow, that's looking particularly nice today with the 2 hibiscus flowers opened up and all the petunia. That's a wave runner. 2 of them, same color, side by side.
Okay.
Left door is open.
Yeah, well, we're going to go into the home link settings, and we're going to do left door. Auto open when arriving. Does it have an auto close when you leave?
I haven't used it. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't see that.
Auto close when leaving.
Right, that's what I want. Chime for auto open and close. Okay. And so, do I save it?
I think he just X out of it and it saves it.
Okay. All right.
I guess you could prove that by hitting it again.
Hitting what again? Oh, sure. Left door. Left door.
It saved it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna leave because I can tell.
You can tell if it works because you've got the sensor on it.
Right. And I just checked to make sure the sensor thing was working.
Okay.
So. Was it? How does it auto close? So I'm waiting.
Don's looking.
I don't know.
You're on the right side of the car to tell.
Yeah. Well, I'm halfway thinking that our butcher blocks will be up here. Nope. I don't see anything. Okay. So how far do we have to go before?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The short story is, in the cul-de-sac when we checked, the door wasn't down.
Right, well, and also I guess the next time we'll try it. When we get home, it should auto open, which isn't really a problem. And then when we leave, in other words, it may have not known the status of the door.
Right, we're gonna look on the Ring camera the next time to tell. Versus
well, it's sort of like this. Right now, we're away from home, and the car has got to assume the door is actually closed. So when we drive up, it sends the code. Now, it doesn't know if the code doesn't say please open or please close. The code just says toggle. So it's got to believe that the door will open. It doesn't know that the door is open. I have an app on my phone that will tell me if the door is really open or not. And then on top of that, when we're in the car and we haven't moved the car one bit, and then we get in the car and we say, okay, and we click the garage door open, and we move the car, it's got to assume we must have opened the door. And so as maybe it knows the geofence code that we're at this spot now and we're leaving that spot, so it must be time for me, and it has to send, I hadn't thought about this, it's got to send the code really quick, because you cannot, I should have thought about that, you cannot go and assume that you could be a quarter of a mile away from your garage door and it's going to send the code. It basically, you know, you can't be 50 feet. So as soon as we put the car, it may be you put the car in reverse and you back out, or whatever direction you move to, quote, get out of the garage. It says, okay, he backed out of the garage. When he puts it in forward, I'm going to close the garage door. Our garage door is smart enough to know if it's open or closed, or we can tell, but the car's not that smart. HomeLink itself is not that smart, and that's the only thing the car knows.
So the red box has been returned, and there are a lot of pop-up storms out there right now. You can kind of see the sky looking a little crazy. There's a chance of hail in these storms today. We wanted to go drive to Siler City and check out the new supercharger. Apparently it's under construction in the Food Lion parking lot. You might remember 2-3 months ago we went and visited our friend Janet. We drove all around Siler City because that's where she lives, and we tried to find what we thought might be a good spot for it. And apparently Food Lion parking lot was not one of the places we looked, and apparently that's where it's going. So tomorrow the weather's going to be nice. There won't be these pop-up storms, and we may go for a drive tomorrow.
Well, it's the hail. These are supposed to be hail in these storms. The guy says there's a chance of hail.
Yeah, it's not that Jules is not that clean. It's not that we don't want to drive in the rain or anything like that. It's the hail part.
The hail.
Yeah.
It makes my girl really nervous, and right now she's having enough other things. I didn't want to make her more upset.
Yeah, I'd say my main symptom today is I was fine walking this morning, but when I sit and I stand up, I am a little dizzy, and I would say my balance is not 100%. So pretty here at Home Depot.
And all the flags.
Yeah. Really nice. Yeah, really nice. So the one problem we found with Boombox, and it's totally because we're using a sound on the USB drive instead of one of the pre-canned sounds, is when you get out of the car and you get back in, you have to enter the PIN. You know, after you've completed a drive, exited the vehicle and come back, it doesn't remember the sound. You have to re-specify it. And it won't let you pick the sound while you're in drive. So you'd have to literally stop, put the car in park, pick the sound off the USB. So Don tried to put the sound on that we wanted while we were over there, but he couldn't do it because it's really a twofold problem. One, you can't choose the sound while you're driving, and two, it doesn't remember the USB stick sound on a subsequent drive. So it's kind of annoying.
Very much.
I waved.
He waved back?
He did wave back. But I promise my other car's a Model X. So I'm waiting for my Tesla to see other Teslas. Come on, Elon.
Yeah, he promised.
We need something fun. I'm waiting. Not happening.
Nope. Still doesn't know we're behind a Tesla.
Nope. Sure doesn't. So besides following the Model X, which is not really our intent, we're just checking to see if the Lowe's is open.
Right.
Just kind of checking out the construction up here.
Well, they were hiring people a
while ago.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So she doesn't like the cone, so she's slowing down. There's nobody behind us. Well, there's cars in the parking lot, but I don't think they're open. But I guess I sort of halfway thought they were trying to open for
by Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intersection here is obviously not done.
Right, this is not ready yet.
It's not ready
for a grand opening yet.
Well, I mean, you can get the Lowe's parking lot's great, but this road over here, I don't know where their brain is on it, because yeah, it's not ready.
Yeah, well, you can't open a store with a road missing. I mean, it's not paved. They're missing the pavement over there.
Yeah. Well, they've been working. Oh, there's a sign up over here. Oh, it just still says now hiring. And there are people down there. Well, there's more cars than you would think, but
yeah, there's a lot of people. They could be having an indoctrination or something.
Training. Yeah, training stuff. Yeah, the garden center is obviously, my eyes can detect that it is not stocked. Huh.
They pushed those signs over. So those signs must have had said something on them. Opening soon, it says, obviously.
Well, duh. But we'd like to know what soon is. Like, give me a date. Like, come back.
Yeah, well, these are definitely workmen. The guy had a contractor type t-shirt on, and that guy's sitting there.
Yeah, like I said, the garden center is not stocked, so.
Yeah.
I want to shop plants. Go someplace different. We saw another now hiring. There's still paper up on the glass.
Yeah.
You know, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think they're shooting out for 4th of July week.
Well, you would have thought that we can't be the only people to have driven by wondering when it's opening. Why would they not put up a guesstimate? Scheduled to open, meaning schedules can change, but like give us an idea, because this is what, the second, third time we've driven past.
So this is going to be the back way now?
Yeah, you're going to be allowed to get out over there too, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully they're close on this road to just putting the asphalt down. I mean, the sidewalk's in, the cement's done. I see the drain grates. I guess there's going to be a center island. It's kind of hard to tell where the grates are, the drainage is. I don't know. Hopefully they're close. Because, yeah, while they could open it, would be really great if this was finished before then. So Martin was talking about Tesla not being able to tell the Cybertruck that they make in Texas, that they basically have to ship it out of state, ship it back, or, you know, the legislature failed to pass so that Tesla can sell, and then they don't meet for some
2 years
crazy amount of time that I can't even fathom how that would happen. I don't even understand it. And I just looked over at Dawn and I said, you know, Martin said they're going to ship them out and ship them back and do some craziness. And I said, no, they're not. Elon's going to dare him to come shut him down, and he's going to sell them. He's just going to he's not going to do that BS. He's not. He's not. I just don't see it happen. I just don't. So we'll see. I guess time will tell. Let's get the first one off the production line. Yes. And the first Texan to order one. Jules is on traffic aware cruise control, but not. She was really worried about the truck. Well, and I'm like, I remember traffic aware cruise control just used to put the accelerator down and not hit things in front of me, and it did that well. I don't care what anybody says about vehicles stopped on the side of the road, but now it's like, God, she just can't drive down this street. This is this little neighborhood across from us without things upsetting her.
Well, now in that case, she was really slow, crawling along like a half a mile an hour until she finally got around the truck enough that she could see that there was nobody coming. Then she took off.
Right, I guess it's because she perceived you were actually going to be like head on in the other lane.
Right.
Maybe that's the real problem.
Well, this, you know, I have no idea what it does when there's no lane mark.
I mean, I don't like it that the people in these houses here park on the street. Because when I'm driving Ruby myself, because I don't use traffic aware cruise control through this neighborhood, Dawn, you know I'm having to basically go into a head-on position, and I pray that the people, I was going to use a derogatory term, but I stopped myself, coming in the other direction aren't coming too fast and not caring and not watching and on their cell phone and, you know.
All those things. All those things.
But I'm always nervous there, and I wonder what the people in that house are thinking where they leave that car, because it creates such a danger.
F-150, who cares?
Well, sometimes it's a car. I mean, it's not always the same vehicle. They probably have several. It seems like most of the people over here, of course we can't talk since we have
5.
4.
4. That's right.
we had 5 for a short amount of time before we sold the XP. It's currently 4. Yeah. Anyway, it's another one. Dawn has TACC set to 12. She's down to 7. That one didn't bother me super duper bad, but the one back there, I swear she almost came to a stop in the middle of the street.
Yeah, she was down.
And this behavior has changed. Well, first off, let me back up a bit. You used to couldn't use traffic aware cruise control under what? 17 miles an hour, 14, yeah. Some teen number. Hi, pretty Model 3. You couldn't use it in this neighborhood anyway. So Dawn never had the option before. So maybe it's not so much that she's braking more. It's that now that we can use it over there, here she's just super careful about it. But it used to be Dawn would be like, God, I wish I could, you know, because he's going slow. Well,
you need to tell him why we're going so slow.
No, I'm not telling him.
It's not for me. I guarantee you, it is not for me. We are not poking along grandma's speed because of anything that I want.
Because Pokemon Go eggs don't hatch over about 14 or 15 miles per hour, or at least they didn't used to. It's a little bit, not as much anymore. And then when they changed some stuff a year ago because of the lawsuits, there's actually not as many Pokemon in the neighborhood, at least for a little while. I kind of think they've upped the number again, but I didn't say that. And anyway, I don't think 25 mile an hour is a good speed through that neighborhood with all the people, pets, and cars along the side of the street. So I have no trouble slowing it down just a little bit. That's my story, and I stand by it. I don't think there's any Legos in the box.
Nope, there is mail though. Junk mail.
Great. Yeah, and this package was supposed to be here Monday that I still don't have, and I've now turned on alerts for it, and so I knew it wasn't here because I don't have any alerts.
Okay, so here comes the
Will
test.
the door open? All right, I'm gonna roll down my window, have the camera ready over here on the side. I'm sure it's gonna open.
Yeah, but where does it trigger?
Right, at what time does it open it? Probably not till we get a little closer.
Yeah, I would say this is still too far. The top of the hill up here, baby. There it went. It just did it. It said something.
Oh, the car said.
There it sent the signal. That was pretty good.
Yeah. There were some things that showed up on the screen, so I guess if we do it again next time, I'll show the screen instead of the door. So we made the decision to unplug Ruby and not plug Jules in, and we worry about it or fuss with it way more than is necessary, but we just don't leave the Teslas plugged in if we think we might have thunder and lightning. We just don't. I start to worry in the house, and it's just not worth it even if I don't need to worry.
Right. I'm going to go pull that wrench down. Oh,
thank you.
Her to turn off the back.
I will. Yeah, Don has Google turning on these lights now whenever his phone is back in vicinity, and that's a nice feature at night, but it doesn't allow him to not choose to turn them on during the daytime. Hey, Gray. She says, give me some attention, Mom, while those other cats aren't around. Although I have to say, she's spending the summer over there in the tall perennial bed. And that's where she spent last summer. So the fact that she's over there more, she likes it over there. She likes it in the plant pot. It's not... They come down, no problem?
No, it's, I'm going to have to take the loppers down.
Wow. Well, that's not just the loppers.
Well, that's what I meant. I need this car.
I gotcha. Have fun.